Hello.
Very loud. You've got to start.
Oh yeah, it's me, isn't it? Hello and welcome to Bragging Rights, Season 3, Episode 12. Hosted at Tribal as always. Sponsored by Comscaf, as you can see by our lovely little mug that we have there. Beautifully modelled, like is on The Price is Right by Jimmy.
Look at what you could have won.
Yeah, you might want to get used to that. Let's see what we left in any cups this year.
For God's sake.
Oh God. Oh, you threw me off.
We're just getting mugged off again, aren't we?
We'll talk about that in like 20 minutes.
I think it's your coach who's been mugged off, pal, but you know, but...
Anyways, don't forget to like, subscribe, share an episode with a mate, and most important, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a hype. Let us know that you enjoy what we're doing. How are we all?
Yeah,
Tired.
pretty good. You?
Yeah, I'm alright, yeah.
James is tired.
I'm knackered.
James is always tired.
No, I'm like knackered.
Oh, you're knackered?
Knackered, like
wow.
fooked.
Fooked. Wow. What about you, Dean?
I'm grand. Until the news broke today.
Till that press conference.
Yeah, that's the one.
It was explosive, according to Hull Daily Mail.
To say the least.
Or
yes.
Hull Live, as it
But
is
apart
now.
from that, yeah, good weekend.
Yeah.
Better sporting weekend than the previous
Oh,
one.
West Ham won, didn't they?
West Ham won, Arsenal bottled it,
Tottenham bottled it.
Tottenham bottled it,
Yeah.
and Leeds are going to bottle it tonight.
I
so-
can't wait to go to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as an Hull City fan next season.
Be half empty, won't it? It'll look weird. Don't you think?
Maybe.
Be fantastic.
And McLaren outside.
Yes.
Yeah.
We saw it as we came in. Dean went, look at that.
I didn't know where to park it, so that's why it's over there.
Well, I hate to break it to you then.
Someone's
just
drove
did
off it.
That's why I have to. You don't worry about things like that.
Oh,
Dear me, honestly.
how are you, Craig?
Digression's great. Yeah, I'm alright. Considering I've just done a day shift, believe it or not, a night shift.
Wow.
Did it go well?
Actually had to do some work today. Yeah, it was.
Is that because the boss works days as well?
No, it's just because you're on days and it's busy on a day. In the morning, on a Monday. If that makes sense.
Fair enough.
But yeah. Should we
Get
crack
into
on
it.
with us?
Yeah, go on. Talk to us about that game.
Who's first this week?
I think.
It's meant to be us, but you're on here first, and we're just letting you have it because you had a game and we didn't.
We're going with that way. Okay.
Felt a bit serious, that one, didn't it?
It did, didn't it? It was
I
like,
didn't even ask why I didn't have a game.
Just get on with it.
it was like, just get on with it, hurry up, I want me tea. I put in the group before the game, it felt, no disrespect to York, but it felt pretty much like job done. Game was won before we'd even kicked off. And it is sad to say because York still put a great effort in. I know the scoreline doesn't really reflect that, but I do feel like there were some big performances from some of the York players, especially a couple of the boys who got in on loan, Harrison and isn't it Joe Law, who they got in from Newcastle. I thought they both went really well. Especially one of them was a right winger, one was a full back. I think it was Joe Law was the right winger, and he sent Budgie a couple of times. Not Budgie. Yeah, Budgie a couple of times in that first
No,
half.
it was that Aussie winger, wasn't it?
Was it? I
the
thought
other
it
one,
was.
yeah.
Was he on the
Yeah.
other side?
Hold on, did they get them in from Newcastle or weren't they on loan at Newcastle?
Yeah, on loan from Newcastle on that sort of parent club new rule thing, and then
But they're York players officially.
apparently, but
Yeah.
they had to loan them back from Newcastle.
What?
I don't know.
Man,
The
this-
team sheets all say loan, so
This is
I'm
just-
not 100% sure why. But anyway, whichever one their right winger was, I should have paid more attention. I do apologise. I thought he stood out for them. I thought he had a really good game. But we had a job to do, and we pretty much did it in that first half, especially in that first 16 minutes when we was 3 tries to 1 up. You know, we missed one kick, so it was 16-6 after 15 minutes, and it just felt like there was no coming back for York from that at all. And our defensive, again, intensity was there again. We was making them kick from their own 20-30, especially early on in the first half. Second half, obviously, we went away from that a little bit, probably went away from the game plan a little bit, because the second half was very, obviously, Dean, you missed it, you turned it off, but the second half was very, very scruffy. There was knock-ons, there was...
Sounds a bit wrong when I say that. I had plans to go see my dad.
Yeah, I didn't mean you turned it off because we were
But I
winning.
wasn't bothered about not seeing it.
Yeah. You didn't miss much, and in the stand, guy I stood next to just turned around to me and it's like, this is like when we was in the Championship. We just sat here and we're chatting and then occasionally going, yay, when we scored. There was just nothing. There was no atmosphere. It was just flat. I don't know if everybody felt the same. And it was a case of the game was won before it was kicked off or not, but it was just dead.
I think
Like
it
one
was
of them first round kind of games where you play
Yeah.
like Lock Lane or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was very similar to that, which is so unfair to York, to the effort they put in, but it kind of went as expected, as Craig said, because their injury hit, they had a small squad to begin with, and
We had players cup tied as well, didn't like Faluma had played for Halifax in the
yeah,
earlier
there was a
round.
couple of them instances, and then obviously we just had that. We're coming into some good form. We've been playing well, and then we're at home again, which always helps, especially us. And I just thought there was actually some interesting parallels to the Hull game. It was for the opening sort of 10-15. It was very similar. We had that brutal wind coming off the dock that we managed to nullify by being dominant in defence and rolling them over, which I felt we did to you in the opening 10 minutes. And off the back of it, we got one try against you, whereas there happened to be a couple in this instant. They didn't turn up as much as you did on the day. And we had to try and do a bit more than we had to against you. But they fell off the boil quicker than you did. You stayed in that derby game for a good 60 minutes. I think I said last week, 65 minutes. York competed for 35 minutes of that game, maybe 40 if I'm being generous. And
That's generous.
It was that try about 5 minutes before half time. You could just sort of see the body language from York was like, we're done.
Yeah,
like, sort of thing.
And it's one of them things, if they've got a long season ahead where their aim has got to be like a good finish in the league. They don't want to be the whipping boys at the bottom and be told or to be called as the team that didn't deserve to come up. And I don't think they will be.
I don't think they will be.
But it is tough, and you can lose some close games along the way, and every point counts. And for them, maybe it was, we're out the Challenge Cup now, so now we can go back to focus on the league and we'll get some bodies back in. So I wasn't thoroughly entertained of the game, but that's a mark of where we are as a club right now, that we get these games that really you sort of do stand back and go, wow, we've scored again. Wow, we've scored again. And you sort of miss some of the key points in the game. For example, I felt as though the game was so heavily in our favour in terms of we were scoring better, we was attacking better, but we was defending harder as well. You don't realise how poor the ref is overall. You call it and you say it's bad, but the poor decisions that went against us didn't cost us.
I think
Whereas-
Susan put that in the group about you don't notice the ref as much, or one of you did, I think.
I'd seen, I can't get the numbers, I think they had double the amount of 6 agains that we did for nothing. It's to no fruition from, is it? And so when you're watching a game like that, it just, had a real weird vibe, and I felt like collectively that the strong crowd, but not a sellout, we'll say, but the strong crowd felt that way as well, and there was a lot of pockets of conversation, some cheers and a bit of chanting, but it's not one of the better atmospheres I've been to, and I do think it did feel like a lower level Challenge Cup tie. And again, I'll hasten to say I'm not trying to disrespect York at all, because they are a Super League side, they are a damn good team on the day, but that's how it felt in the stand.
They've got their eye on more important matters, I think, for them, and that's
Yeah.
cementing Super League position.
Yeah, quite
I know there's no
possibly.
relegation or out like that, but it's just cementing a place in Super League and feeling belonged in that respect, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, York probably expected a tough patch where they're going to have injuries, they're going to have suspensions and things like that. Their coach is no mug.
He's not, is
He was probably expecting at some point this season to have a period like they're having now, but probably later on in the season. But the good thing about that is they can then come good towards the business end of the season and show what they are. They've got a small squad, we know that. Hence the loans, and McShane was pretty much playing at right centre all game. He was playing standoff, but he was pretty much at right centre all game. And that speaks volumes about where they're at the moment. And like Josh said, it would be very, very harsh to disrespect York, but they're just going through it at the moment, aren't they?
I think as well you saw the fact that I do feel we've dropped off a bit on this sort of mad focus on the 6 agains and speeding the ruck up. The refs have dropped off for a second week in a row. They have let games flow across the board a bit more, and that played into our favour more because we're a very strong defensive unit who, when it gets into a ground, we will hold you down and we will dominate tackles.
Suffocate you.
You're not going to get penalised as much because the refs letting more go. And on the flip side, it ends up going against teams like York, who've got older players like Paul McShane, who just a phenomenal defender who holds you down. The penalty doesn't come, but isn't quick enough to get back into the line.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, and our first try literally came from that move. McShane made a cracking tackle out, couldn't get back in time. Martin, I believe, coming back, could have passed the ball earlier, but it felt like he wanted that contact. Do you know, that tester in his head? So he took the impact before he offloaded to Mikey. Mikey ran riot, offload, and away we go, we've scored. It just happened. It just happened to happen, on McShane, and that was, for me, a sign of how the game was going. I think
it was a very early tell, wasn't it?
It was probably a bit of a game plan as well from Peters. We probably knew he was going to defend out wide. So you send somebody like a Martin or a Hicko or a Gildart at him, and then you win that contact and earn that right to offload. So it probably was a little bit of a game plan from Peters. And we executed it pretty much brilliantly in that first half.
Yeah, we did. And look, we're a few minutes to go. I think there's only a couple. There's obviously players to shout out, but I just want to say before I mention the players, I really liked Willie Peters afterwards. It's obviously tough that we know he's leaving at the end of the year. We do all obviously trust and believe that we're going to keep fighting to win something again. He wants to go out on a high, I get that. But that is easier said than done. But at the end, he wants more. He said the way we played was encouraging, but he's still disappointed at certain areas of our game, and he wants more from us. And I was thinking about that. We haven't had that free breakfast, have we? Big thing from last year.
When we nil
a team. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things he's talking about. So a big thing for him on that I love the fact, because I do believe that he wants the best. He wants another treble. He wants to score on an absolute high and make history, do you know? And you buy into that.
You'd actually win the quadruple if you got another treble, wouldn't you? And
but
I'm not having that.
In terms of
what would hurt you more, like a quadruple or us winning back to back, so that you've literally got nothing on us as fans?
Don't hurt me.
No, but it does Jimmy.
Oh, does it?
I would move to Sydney and be a die-hard Wests fan.
And that would be very bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
But in some particular players, just shout out. Broadbent, I thought was immense. He had another game.
I said Broadbent during the
Another game with tough win at the back, and he played really well. Obviously, can't go on without speaking about Tyrone May. Three tries, hat trick, good for any player. He was man of the match on Sky. But the man of the match at the ground?
No,
other way around.
Yeah,
man of the match in the ground. Man of the match on Sky, Jez Litton. Just keeps putting his hand up saying, I'm the best hooker in Super League. You're definitely not one of the best three in the world, the way he's playing. He's putting himself out there, and I think,
he's going to P&G.
The rumours of him going to P&G.
Borough, Barnforth, Litton, in that order.
No, who's the lad who plays for Scala now? Can't think of it. But then I just wanted to talk about Mikey. I know I love to, but I thought he looked dangerous all game. He had a highlight reel try, which really was magical. But he was finding the space, making the opportunities, getting on a try assist. Nailed an amazing conversion at the end, which sort of wasn't needed, which he took quickly from the sideline when Budgie scored. But across the board, again, it was one of them games where your three main attacking pivots played well together. And we did it without Mini. We had Dino in there, and can't give an update on Dino apart from saying that the only takeaway from the game for us that we need to think about going into next week is Hadley's eye injury seems to have come back up from what he had around the World Cup Challenge time, and he's just going away to see what's happening.
Aggravated it, I think, was the terminology we used, but Mini should be back, so...
I'll hand over to you to finish, Craig, but for me, it's just, look, that's our fifth straight last four spot. That's
quite impressive.
That's impressive, and that's when you talk about building for long-term success, not for a flash in the pan 1 or 2 year couple of trophies. And that's not a dig at your Challenge Cup there. I'm talking Huddersfield, top of the league, Castleford, one top of the league, them type of things. Catalan, one Challenge Cup. It's not about that. You've got to be there repeatedly, and I said this before, do it for 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and then you'll start getting talked about like your Wigans, like your Saints, like your Leeds, and like your Bradford of old, and that's where we want to be as a club. That's how you do it.
Well, we spoke about before, but Sinfield, prime example. What did he lose before he won one? Was it 3? 3 finals he lost before he won one, was it?
And he was dropped for one, I
And he was
believe,
dropped for one of them, wasn't he? Yeah, he told us about that one at that night. So you alluded to it there, Josh, 5th Challenge Cup semi-final in a row. It's also our 9th in all competitions since 2021. So out of a possible 14, we've been at 9.
Quick maths.
That was a lucky guess, I think.
Was it?
But yeah, we've been at 9.
I don't know if you're right.
I hope you're wrong and someone calls you out.
Well, yeah, we'll go with that. Well, 21 to 26 is 7.
Carry on, Craig.
Anyway, so 9 out of 14. Like Josh said, that's what you talk about building success. Hopefully, we'll make it another final, but we'll see. Just to.
Are you going to go on to the other results?
Yeah, I've got them.
Just quickly then, so because we haven't got a separate news section on the results of a draw, we know that we've drawn wire now. It's going to be at Doncaster, 4 p.m, Sunday the 9th or 10th of May.
10th. Yeah.
Happy with that. I like the idea of Wigan and Saints in the
semi-final. There is reasons behind why it's at Doncaster. I was saying to Dean on the way here, and also where the Sunday game and not the Saturday game.
Oh, okay. So there's things behind it.
Tell us the reason?
Yeah, once Josh is finished.
Oh.
Yeah, and my only point on this was going to be, what do we say? We get in touch with Wire and just say, we need to play each other in the league. Why don't we just play double or quits? If we win, we go through to the final and we get the 2 points.
That's proper Sunday league stuff, that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, and then if someone gets injured, we can lend him a player at half time and swap shit. I don't know, but I'm just saying, let's have a vote button on the video. Do you think we should come? But yeah, sorry, put back to you.
Yeah, no. So the reasons are so Doncaster and Warrington's grounds were not the first choice. Bolton's ground was for the Saints Wigan game, but they can't play it there because they possibly have a home tie on the 9th of May.
Bolton Wanderers,
sorry, yeah. In the football, in the playoffs, so they could probably have a home tie, which is why they couldn't play it there, which is why it's now at Halliwell Jones.
It had to be played on a Saturday because
Saints have the Thursday game following up, and the reason we can't have Headingley as our semi-final venue is because the Rob Borough Leeds marathon is on that Sunday. So it's just not feasible to do it, so that's why we're at Doncaster.
Fair. Makes sense.
Finally then, just quickly, Women's Challenge Shield. Our ladies played Batley and turned them over 70 points to 10. I believe that was the quarter-final, so now they're into the semi. So another semi for the club as a whole. And
that post that your club put on.
What? Was it you that put that, Jimmy, where you was like, wow, what?
I mean, we've had an episode called that.
Yeah.
But for a club to do it, especially when commenting on a women's fixture, I was just like, oh no. What have they done?
We've got a semi on. I don't see the problem.
No, you've got another semi on and then a picture of a load of women playing rugby. Yeah. That's fantastic. What Rovers put on Instagram.
It'd be, fantastic result for the women.
It'd be remiss of us, Josh, not to mention the academy. You know, the academy that Rovers apparently don't have beat the best academy in the world.
I know.
But you played Wigan
last week. No, we played Hull FC and we turned them over 34 points to 20.
It is significant that. It's a massive milestone in our academy's history and of recent history in particular, given that our academy has struggled at times and given how strong your academy has been. It's quite a big scalp for the lads, as any derby is going to be, whether you're playing at under 16s academy or the adults. It is a big step, and I think it's a great result for the lads, so definitely worth mentioning this week on the Rovers.
I reckon our academy were playing reserves because our reserves are all having to play first team, and that's why you won.
No, actually, it says that most of them decided to take the day off like your first team did.
Bragging Rights is proudly sponsored by Comscaf. Hull's own Comscaf have been keeping things safe and steady for over 30 years, providing professional scaffolding services nationwide. If you need a team you can trust for your next project, big or small, head to comscaf.co.uk or give them a call on 01482 782 181.
Longest 1 second.
I was just about to say the exact same thing there.
We had a ref yesterday at football, and you've got the countdown now from
the goalie.
From the goal kick. So if the keeper picks the ball, you've got 8 seconds to kick it or let go. So he goes 8, and then from 5 he'll start to count. So you'll only know if I see it on screen. He went 5, 4, 3, 2, and then the player kicked it. I was like, ref, don't you know how to count? Like your fingers, drop your fingers down.
What we're getting at there is that Susan went
took ages.
3, 2, 1, and then just held his finger there
for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was like he forgot that it was maybe a 7-tackle set.
What's happening is these two are trying not to talk about their club, and it's their section.
I don't mind talking about the club. Certain people in the club are starting to piss me off, though.
Oof, big word.
Big word, yeah.
You know, yeah, Richie Marley. Get out there, tell us what's going on. Because for me, listening to all the news that's coming out, listening to that press conference that John Cartwright did today, Richie Marler's got some facing up to the fans to do, because I want to know what's going on. And I don't think not just me. Like, I think there's maybe a couple of other thousand members that want to know what's going on at the club.
And rightly so.
I don't think Cartwright could have been any more diplomatic in what he said today. I'm sure we'll get into it with the quotes, but also couldn't hide his emotions. It's very clear there is some frustrations there, and it's not just I'm leaving this club at the end of the year frustrations. It's I am not seeing eye to eye with people in this club. I have not seen eye to eye for a period of time, and also the truth will come out in future, which is always a sign that there's been
something behind the scenes.
The first words in it wasn't mutual, put it that way. It says everything. Regarding the interview, it was honest. He answered the questions fairly. I have no issues with I have no issues with how he answered the questions. I don't think he said anything out of line. He was just...
I feel like Ollie Turner at BBC had the same sort of script in front of him as what he had with me on... What day did I go on? Friday. He asked me certain questions and wanted a fan's perspective, and then he pretty much asked the same sort of questions to John Cartwright to get his perspective on him. And I'm just glad that Cartwright's come out and answered honestly, but I also think now that 100%, in my opinion, Cartwright's not going to be the coach at the end of the season. Like, in terms of, like, he'll be gone before the end of the season.
His position's untenable.
There's a part of me that thinks that he won't be at the Brewdog on Thursday.
Brewdog?
You're at home.
Oh, we're at home? Yeah. Oh, I'm not there anyway. I don't know where it is.
He definitely won't be at the Brewdog then.
No. I don't know where the game is because I'm going to be in hospital. So
the point being is, you've touched on something there, Jimmy. You're showing your human side there to say that you're really glad he's come out and said it. But what you shouldn't be glad about is that all he's doing is showing, again, that there's something wrong inside your club and it's not on the field. And we thought you was over this. Now, it might not be true, but the way he's answered these questions, it wasn't mutual, put it that way. Have you been given a reason? I haven't been given a reason. I've asked, and I'm expecting to sit down in the future. So they're holding him on tenterhooks, not telling him what's going on. These things,
they're swan off to Miami. They give him the news, swan off to Miami, by what I've heard.
How do you feel about this? When people know the facts, then they can make their own mind up. These are things that have birds on Facebook put when they're trying to be cryptic and they want all the mates to inbox them.
They've just broke up with a fella, yeah.
Or when something not too pleasant's gone on. And I love to wind up about you sacking Radford live on TV, right? Because it's a horrendous thing to do to anybody, right?
This feels worse.
I was just going to say this feels worse.
This feels like professional misconduct. And I feel for John Cartwright here. He's moved halfway across the world, and it feels like you've treated him like a bit of shit on your shoe.
So just to clear up a few things as well before, like, he's cleared up for us, it's sod all to do with Jed. Jed was told just after the York game that he wouldn't be getting another deal. So that's been there, done,
said there's no bad blood with that one.
Fair.
That's that. And, yeah, he knew the Monday before, so he knew 5 days before the derby and kept it within that sort of leadership group and didn't tell the players until after because he didn't want to affect the way that the players played. So, like, for me, everything that John Cartwright's doing and saying right now is he's trying to be as professional as he can. He's trying to go about his job. He even said in the interview, I'll be a professional until the end of the season. And I'll do my job.
He's only staying on, in my opinion, because of the bond he has with that playing group.
Well, I wanted to question that. Not that I don't believe it's true, but one of the things they said was, they asked the question, why did the players refuse to train after you told them?
He didn't,
and he said it was a very emotional meeting when I addressed the players. It was a session that wouldn't have been of any value, so I called the day off anyways. I think that's fair, right?
So to clarify, the players didn't refuse to train. Cartwright decided to call the training session off.
Yeah, but then he made this sentence. The players had some grievances they wanted to talk about, and I don't know if they've been addressed. Now, I don't know how you read into that.
They can't be, because the owner and CEO halfway across the world.
So you've got players that have got grievances with people that are in your membership, management areas of your club, not your team management, your actual running of day-to-day, your Richie Marlers, etc. That's really concerning for me.
How can they make a decision like this and then swan off on holiday?
Because they don't care. Simple as that.
It makes it look like that, doesn't it?
Whether
And
it's about the club or whether it's about Cartwright as a person.
We are also making assumptions as to who it is. My assumption is that it's Richie.
he runs the club.
Because Thurkill's not involved in the day-to-day running of the club. He just owns it, and Richie runs it. So my assumption is it's Richie that's...
And Tony Sutton.
Yeah, no, Tony Sutton's operations. Okay. He's not rugby.
Right.
So Tony Sutton is business.
Everything
Richie
else,
is rugby.
All the backside.
Well, to be fair, Richie and Gaz Ellis are rugby. And I don't want to try and drag him into something that he potentially might not be on about, but I'm just clarifying who does what at the club. Richie and Gaz Ellis do the rugby side of things, along with Dan Tate, who deals with the youth side of things. But Tony Sutton and Sean Tate now, they're
Right, okay.
operations business side of stuff. If you want my honest opinion, it's Richie.
Well, look, there's more comments. I'm not just doing it to dig you out so you feel crap on here tonight, but...
we don't need you to do that for us.
Why haven't the club recruited to replace Knight yet? We've been trying them. And the final couple of sentences on this. We have found players who could do a job. For whatever reason, it hasn't been acted upon. We're a long time through the season without having backup. That's a question for the CEO.
8 players.
8 players they've pointed out.
It feels pointed to me that he's trying to tell you, whether it's Richie Marler or not, and we're pretty certain it is that's going on, is his disagreement, but he's saying, I'm not getting the support I need as a coach, and the things I'm trying to do to drive this on-field club to success, they don't want me to do it.
We also have to put out here, we've only got Cartwright's side of things. There's an assumption been made here by everybody so far that Cartwright's squeaky clean, not done anything wrong. We don't know.
Oh, you're a Richie Marler apologist?
No, I'm not at all.
No, but there is 2 sides to every story.
There is.
But we need to hear that other side
Exactly,
now. Because
that's exactly what I was just going to say.
I'm massively guilty of this. I'm always a pessimist, always have been, when it comes to Hull FC anyway. The last 18 months I've fell for it hook, line and sinker. Like, I've bought into everything they've said. I'm talking Thurkill, Marley, the rest of them. I said on Radio Umberside lesson, a week ago, I fully got my full backing. Them, the coaching staff, everybody at the club, full backing. And then in the last week we get this and it feels like, shit, are we back to where we was 2 years ago? I'm not saying financially or out like that, but club run like crap basically.
Certainly seems the same from an outside perspective, and like you just said there, Dean, about Richie Marler. Until he comes out and gives his side of the story, that is all we can do.
It's like nothing changes. It doesn't matter whether it's CAF, whether it's
James Roll,
Adam
Roll, Pearson.
Yeah. There's always something that Pearson with the live sacking of Radford. That makes the club look fucking pathetic and stupid. James Roll
It's just James Rule.
Don't need to say any more. Kath, let's just be Leeds' little bitch for however long she owned our club and whatever else she did while she was here. And now, less than 2 years into him being CEO,
it's like you're trying to build
what's going on. It's like you buy LFC, it's like, ooh, you have to do something dickish.
Yeah, exactly. You build the club up and people are now looking in at the club going, yeah, maybe they've got the recruitment a little bit wrong, but everything else at the club, they look like they're going in the right direction. Fair play to them. They're trying to get the...
It's the one thing we thought we was getting right.
Yeah, we're all getting everything in line. And then you come out with this, and everyone's now looking at us, pointing and laughing.
I do think the other part of this is that people have largely left you a bit untouched, apart from a few comments around... You told us all you was the richest club in Super League, or one of them.
Second.
Great. And then we kept saying you're not spending money. You're not doing this. And it was like, no, we have. And you've thrown money at Asiata and presumably Lasoni. And we never know the hard facts on these. So some money has gone into recruitment. But the moment shit hit the fan this year and players left like Knight and injuries started mounting up again, it was, how are you going to replace them? Who are you going to replace them with? What Cartwright's saying here is there's valid options to replace them and the club is not willing to spend money to replace them.
It's pretty clear why they haven't. Why they've not been replaced? Because
they've
probably had this Cartwright leaving thing in their minds for the last couple of months.
Don't get me wrong. There is the positive at the end of all of this is, in my opinion, I think next season we're going to have a coach in McNamara that is probably about as nailed on a coach as you can get for Hull FC. It's widely spread, at least. I don't know whether it's a fact, but it's widely been spread that he wants to coach Hull FC. Look at what he did at Catalan. He's got experience. Yeah, what he's done with Warrington to help Burgess. He's got experience down under. He's probably got quite a lot of decent connections. Do I think McNamara is the coach that I'd want wearing black and white? Yeah, I do. And I think, to be honest, I think there's probably a lot of Rovers fans out there that, if he does sign for FC, are a bit gutted, because I think there'll be a few Rovers fans that wanted him there.
I said that. I don't know if I put it in the group, but
yeah,
I had a discussion with Dan Arroway.
But the way that you do that, it's just the method in which it's all been like, oh, he's available. Fuck him then. Like, that's...
Whether it's true or not, and I disagree, because as a Rovers fan, I did not want Steve Mack, but we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
We're not here to
I'm really happy
We're not
about
here
that.
to discuss
I would
that.
have been as well.
Once it's confirmed, if you've got him, great for you. One of the reasons that the Catalan thing didn't work out is that he refused to learn French, apparently. He'll have no trouble because he's from Hull, so he knows how to speak the old
He knows the
dialect.
lingo, doesn't he?
Kurdish, won't he?
You can build success however you want, and in years to come, people will forget these moments, just like they forgot the Radford sacking. They'll forget this if you go on success. What I think about your club right now, even as a red and white, is you're in massive danger, in my opinion, of becoming the next Wire. It's always your year, right? Because you're always building, you're always going to do the right thing, you've always now got the new signing, you've now got the new money, and it feels like every year FC are going to bounce back from this terrible year. And this is just another excuse to say this year won't be our year, but next year we've got Steve Mack. You've got to go out and prove it on the field, not just keep telling us.
I'm really glad you brought up that Wire, because I've had people messaging me this last week. Oh, Cleary, what about that? I was like, no,
load of shit.
Bullshit. We need a squad, not a superstar.
Yeah.
Wire based their philosophy on building through a superstar, buying the biggest name every season that they could get their hands on, and it's taken them, and they still haven't won the league. Yeah, they've won a few cups, and they're challenging majority of the time.
They've got into the
top four.
playoffs and got Andrew Johns and couldn't win a game. Like, it don't work.
But Richie Marler's been a part of that, so is he looking at that? But yeah, again, he's been part of the Leeds situation where it's build a squad. You build a team to win. You don't build through superstars.
He was a lot younger when he was at Leeds, though, wasn't he? So
No, he was at Wire first. He was at Salford Wire, then Leeds.
Where was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got
And then
it.
You've got to get out of that.
Right, okay, I'll take that back then.
I'm an old fan, and I'm one person who does not want Nathan Cleary. I do not want Nathan Cleary at our club. He's a fantastic player, the best halfback in the world. But yes,
I
he
don't
is.
want Nathan Cleary for £1 million a year.
No, because
But I'd
he
take
just,
Nathan Cleary for £250,000
Yeah,
a
but he
year.
won't come then,
50
will he?
quid.
No,
But it won't
yeah.
come. That's why we need a squad, not a team, not a superstar.
50
We
quid
will
in the
not
Kit Kat.
build, and we will not get to 5 semi-finals.
I don't
in
want to be
row,
a
or
Saudi football team
Do you know what's
with
interesting?
Ronaldo.
What's interesting about McNamara as well, it's heavily implied, it's discussed, and it's almost given us facts now that one of the reasons why have started so well this year, aside from they've had maybe an easier start than some other clubs, but they've had a great start, is to do with his influence and helping Sam Burgess in his coaching journey. But what a lot of behind the scenes conversation is that McNamara's making the older players, I might have mentioned this the other week, drive their standards to keep the spots. So players like Philbin, who was going to get dropped, is now looking like he's back to his best ever, which when he's on form, he can be one of the top second rows and props whenever he's playing in the country on his day, because he's got that about him. And he's making him play for his position. Now, that's fantastic that he's doing that and driving standards. But if there's one thing that Hull FC don't need right now is someone to make the old heads drive the young people's standards, because that's what you have been doing for 2 years, and that's why you've managed to cling on, keep some fans, and feel like you've got some hope.
Well, that's one thing we've been doing right.
Yeah, so you don't need someone to come and teach you that, because you've already got that.
I really want to know why, because I'm happy with McNamara. I like Steve McNamara, but I want to know why the change. Why? There's got to be another side to them, and we're not hearing
I'm
it.
not bothered about the why the change. I'm bothered about the
I do
why
now.
do it the way you've done it. Like, why do it in such a way that brings the club almost into disrepute? Like, at least the management team.
So, on your opinion then, Jimmy, on your guest there, that you said you might not even see him this week, Dean, I don't think you believe he'll be there at the end of the season.
I don't think he'll be there after Thursday.
So if that's true,
we discussed that on the way, didn't we?
and Cartwright goes, and who could blame him? And all these things happen. I do think you said the term earlier is correct. His position is probably untenable right now at Hull FC. Who comes your assistant coach? Who is that, and who steps in? Is it Lasty again? Lasty or Griggs? I mean,
do you know what though? I mean, when I think about Lasty as well, Lasty and McNamara, two Hull lads leading Hull, like it does.
On paper, it looks great.
That's great. That is great. You know,
that's the only concern.
I know Lasty, as a head coach, necessarily hasn't had the success that you'd want him to have when he's been given the opportunity at Hull, but as an assistant coach, as a coach just in general, you can't deny what he brings to, well, everywhere he's been, even when he was at England, like the impact that he has on the team. And the fact that there's players that, not necessarily all lads who have played for England, that have come out and said, Andy Lasty's a top coach. We've got him. We're hopefully, as long as it's all true, which I think it is now after Cartwright more or less confirmed it, you got Steve Mack. Yeah, you've got a great core there from your coaching side of things, but McNamara's got the hardest job in the world now, because it's clear that our current squad have bought into John Cartwright, and they've got no reason, they didn't want Cartwright to leave. Now you've got to get them players to buy into you, or bring new players in and get them. Either way, I can't see us. I would have liked to have thought that this season would kick on, and next season we might push for a quarter, semi-final, maybe a Challenge Cup or whatever. We're back 2 years now. I think you're looking at 2028, 2029 before we can realistically expect any push for any silverware.
If you've got any chance of keeping some, because I do believe this is a big regression for you, if you've got any chance of keeping this positive push forward and growth going, then Cartwright does need to leave early, and you actually need to bring in Steve Mack. If it is Steve Mack, he needs to come in early as well. If not, at the very least, he has to have heavy influence and say into your signings and your squad for next year, so you can hit the ground somewhat running. Now, yes, we understand your team quite well. We know a lot's going to hinge on people staying injury-free, Price coming back, what you're going to do with Asiata. We know Cartwright's going now, Cartwright Jr. I mean, what happens with people like Hardacre getting another year older? All these decisions have to be made with the new coach, and therefore telling John Cartwright he's still got a job till the end of the year, that does keep setting you back. So the decision...
I don't understand that decision, by the way.
Just let him go.
Look, we may never know.
Why keep him around?
We may never know, but
I think to pay off his contract.
I think as fans, you're due an explanation.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is as well, I don't know how many minutes. I know we're over, and I know you're going to try and cut us off, but you're not.
I mean, he'll do what he wants.
Yeah, he's got the buttons.
I edit it. So
he's in so much glee that this is happening to FC right now.
We've not even got onto the fact that we've lost Asiata for however long. Like, and what are we going to do? Like, genuinely now, Asiata, yeah, we knew he was injured after the derby. We've now been told it's minimum 12 weeks. Unless he needs surgery, then it's going to be even longer.
If Bell gets injured,
if Bell gets injured, we're fucked. Like, but what do we do now? Like, he's still got another year after this. In my opinion, I like the guy when he's on the field. I used the example to Dean the other day. John Asiata reminds me of Adam Dykes. Adam Dykes.
Yeah, you said that in the group.
In my opinion, for me at least, he's the best 7 I've ever seen play for Hull FC. But I didn't see him play for Hull FC enough. John Asiata, because I went around with the Jason Smith days, John Asiata's the best 13 I've ever seen play for Hull FC. But he's going to be forgotten about. In 10 years' time, people aren't going to remember this absolute fucking quality 13 that we had playing for us, because he's going to rack up 20 games, 30 games, max. And he's going to get paid nigh on £1 million to do it. Because he's on 300 grand a year.
Me or Josh
Rumoured, yeah. But Adam Dykes as well, like, but there's a lot of people that don't remember Adam Dykes because he just didn't play enough
Adam Dykes
games.
was an outstanding player.
I remember him getting hypothermia in the 11-10 loss at Craven Park.
Yeah,
That was all I
absolutely
remember.
Outstanding player, but he only played a handful of games for the year.
But, yeah, you can cut us off now. Yeah? Oh, I'm on. Oh, all right. Cool. Fair enough. Yeah, so just a reminder to everyone that's watching, listening, We do record this at Tribal. Fantastic place to come if you want to watch sport, whether it is football, which you hopefully can't see in the background, or Sky Sports will have our pants down. Rugby league.
Or give us a deal.
Give us a deal, yeah. Boxing, as Dean came and watched the Fury fight the other day. Any sport you can think of, you can watch it here, I think, except curling maybe. But if you want to get down here, come down here, bring your season. I'm not. I used to watch curling.
I'm just going to. I wasn't going to cut across and say afterwards, but they did say to us last week or the week before that somebody came in and specifically requested a random pool tournament in Asia, and that's why it was on the TV. And they found it for them, and it wasn't even like Moscone Cup, which is a big pool tournament. It was a random one. So maybe don't doubt that they'll put curling on.
Yeah, all right. If you want to watch curling, come in and ask.
I guarantee it was on a few months ago when the Winter Olympics was on.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, if you are a season ticket holder for either club, bring your season pass in, get 15% off your bill as long as you've got food and drink on your bill. And that's just for Rovers and FC. Because I was sat there thinking then, what about City fans? But I don't know, maybe they don't like football. News time.
From around the world.
I hate you.
News from around the world. 4 points. 4 points to get through today, gentlemen. So let's start. This was for some reason pinged as big news during the half-time of the Rovers and York game on Saturday, but as it turns out, Castleford are to land Tower Dupree from 2027. It hasn't actually fully got over the line, this deal. There has to be in a release agreement from Wigan because he's still a Wigan player, but it looks like it's just about locked up, otherwise they wouldn't be reporting it.
How can they report that as breaking news if it's not even confirmed?
I know, but it is what it is.
Because it's rugby league.
Who was it?
Matt Shaw put the breaking news thing on, didn't he? I think.
Okay.
But then the articles are all, a lot of other media outlets, so it has been widely reported. Interesting point in this for me is that what Castleford are doing is they're looking to revamp the pack, but also a few positions going into next year. And, you know, they've already signed for next year Robbie Mulhern, Ben McNamara, and if the article that I read to be believed, they believe they've already secured Jack Brown from Rovers, which we've long heard the rumour of, but we haven't had any confirmation of. But Love Rugby League seem to think it's true. But if that's true, if we forget Jack Brown for a second, Robbie Mulhern, Ben McNamara and Dupree are 3 good players.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Cass get on in 2027. Next point, Challenge Cup attendances didn't really impress. I don't think you'd expect them to be as good as Rivals Round the week before. It's not including your season ticket. But they were still all right. Saints only had 6,785. That was down from 11k the previous week. KR didn't have a sellout, and we don't report our figures. It was quite busy in there, but there was probably maybe 7 or 8k.
East Stand was busy, wasn't it? But I don't think
there was
the
a few
West or the
pockets.
North were. The South was pretty much empty.
7 or 8,
7 or 8, I would say, yeah.
Wire and Lee for the second week on the bounce. They only got 7.5k. They had 11k last week. And then Wigan and Wakey, they had 8k, which was actually pretty good. That's only the third time they've gone over 8k this year. So Wakey was
good crowd,
probably the standout one. And just to go back a split second on that, Saints, they did play Catalan. So let's just take that into account when we say, you know, they had a derby the week before, and this week they had Catalan.
Yeah, the TV audiences pretty much mirrored that. I think our game peaked at 122,000, which was a 2.2% audience share. But we did have to contend with the Grand National, and there was something else on as well, another sporting event. I'm not sure what it was. Obviously, we've got the football on as well. And then also the Wigan game topped at 722,000 or thereabouts, which was a 7.7% share. But they were only competing, with Dickinson's Real Deal. So there's a bit of this is off BBC, so there's a bit of a comparison there as to why the viewing figures, there's such a discrepancy between the two.
You say that, but that's terrestrial TV on Sky. You had Super Sunday on football, so it's not bad.
Yeah, but most working class people can't afford Sky anymore.
Okay.
Moving on before we get political. Sunday's clash between Gull Vikings and Whitehaven was delayed. The 3 p.m. kickoff, fans were asked to attend at 4 p.m. and they did finally get the game underway at 4:20, which actually ended up with Gull being beaten 36-22. But why could they not attend the Victoria Pleasure Ground for the kick-off? Do we know?
I have no idea.
I do
I
know.
heard this on Talk Sport.
I do
They never
know.
report on rugby league, but yet they reported on Goal and
A
Whitehaven.
grenade was found. No, we're not watching football, James.
No, just pointing out to Dean, the West Ham fan, that the score behind him might not be very good for them.
They found a grenade in one of the in-goal areas during
What?
a pre-pitch inspection before the game.
Was it one of them like plastic toy ones you get from Smith's?
No, it was a real one, but it wasn't live.
So the pin was in it?
No, I thought it was,
Something about it, it wouldn't have exploded at any point for whatever reason.
it was
I
a
don't
dud.
know.
So why don't they just kick off then?
Because
That's where the pub's going and everyone's to get there.
So yeah, so very interesting one there, and
I'm
obviously
surprised one of like the all-born players for goal didn't just pick it up and go, dude,
Just launch
sod
it.
off. There's a river
Launch it
somewhere
into
that
the
can go in.
umpire.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting one there. And then finally, I get to tie in a bit of news with my Dickhead of the Week, which is just the
Is it
same.
him?
You're bringing it back?
Well, it's like the third time I brought it back this season.
And it's always for the
And it's
same guy.
always for Derek Beaumont.
He
So,
did an interview, didn't he?
I have got a dickhead
I'd
of
love
the
to
week.
see him try and kick me out of that stadium because I will slag off Tessie.
yeah, so this, for the people that don't know, Derek Beaumont has been on the line again. He's got in touch with the RFL. He's wrote a long letter. He's made an interview. I don't know how he's done it, but basically he wants the RFL to take action against crowds that are targeting Tessie New, chanting things at him, making noise at him, saying particular things, making songs about him. He said that the fans that are found abusing Tessie will be ejected. So good luck with that when everyone's chanting the same thing. But he also said, and this was my quote that I love so much, Derek Beaumont said, "I'm thick-skinned, so it doesn't bother me, but I'm concerned about Tessie." Well, if you've ever met a thinner-skinned man in rugby league, there isn't one that exists than Derek Beaumont, who takes absolutely everything to heart, gets on email and Facebook at 1 a.m, drunk, and types random letters out to complain about stuff. So he's Dickhead of the Week again. Number one, because he always has been one, but just coming out to say, stop shouting abuse. Number one, it's rugby league and people chant, and that's part of our sport. It's part of why English Super League's better than the NRL, is our chants and songs that we make up and the things that we do. But also, we always have to say allegedly, Tessie New's done something wrong, we don't know. But something is not right in that situation. He's been making it worse all year by playing the Rocky
I was
theme
just gonna
music
say.
and all this bullshit.
And the
now-
wrecking ball.
Yeah.
And the wrecking ball. And now he's saying, please don't chant songs at
Have
my
you
player.
played there yet?
Not yet.
And we've not played there in the league yet.
We played them in a cup, didn't we?
Yeah. So both Hull and Rovers fans have got to go there. I think we should get some stickers made. Just plaster that stadium with stickers. Like, I mean, I'm not going to say what they're going to say, but we'll distribute them somehow.
Definitely going to be a picture of your face on the turnstile and no entry permitted.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to go and shout because I'm having teeth out the day before. So,
For what? For that game?
yeah, the day before.
I know
When
some-
you're playing, are you playing them soon, I imagine, then?
This is completely unrelated to the player I'm talking about, but I know a rugby league player would be quite interested in hitting you in the face to help you remove them teeth.
Oh.
All right.
Or maybe they are related. Anyways, let's move on from the news.
Oh, we're going to get shut down.
I had something to say.
Comments section then.
This says 5 to 10 minutes and we got 22 comments.
Oh yeah, I know. So out of 1,600 views. this
Can I
week,
just...
It's not your section.
No, but can I reference
It's
two
his podcast,
comments we
though.
got and apologise to anyone that listened and could only hear stuff in the left ear because there was two people commenting and said there was something wrong with the sound. My fault, I did it in a rush, I'm ever so sorry, I'll try not to do it again.
I was going to
so
bring that up.
was it
but
a gen-
he jumped in again.
That's what he does. Was it a genuine mistake?
Yeah, I fucked up, yeah.
Oh, right. I
was in a rush.
That's good, because then it means that we aren't doing something weird, because I watched it back and was like, obviously we sound shit because all we do is talk drivel, but I could hear it and it was even, and I was worrying if it was maybe we had to go around everyone's individual device and check that their
I put it on
headphones
in
were
my car
working.
yesterday on the way back from Southampton and it was just coming out of like the rear back speaker. I was like, how did 1,600 people watch this?
He's driving a laptop like that.
What did you say, Josh?
Speaking of drivel and people who fuck up, I have to get this in because she'll kill me if I don't. Dickhead of the week, Marcus Griffiths and his skinny ankles. If you don't know what it's about, next time Marcus Griffiths is on the telly, Beth will kill me if I didn't say this. She's already had a go at me twice. If you're not sure what it's about, next time he's on the telly or you've got him as your referee, pay attention to his ankles because
like
they
Nathan-
should not be able to support a human being.
Like Nathan Blacklock.
Coming from a guy who's got really skinny legs and real skinny ankles, I'm not in no position to have
There you go, Beth. You can have a go at Dean next.
Go on then, talk about some comments.
you threw me right off now.
Sorry, I do apologise.
No, so 1,600 views on YouTube last week, so I just want to say thank you for everyone for watching. Sorry if the sound was rubbish, but it was his fault.
He was very, very tired.
Quite a few comments this week, so I can't go through all of them. Thanks for everyone who has commented, but there's a few I've picked out. Barry Bratton.
Again?
Yeah, I am.
Loves the comment, does
Red
Baz.
Robin 105 in the comp. Looking forward to being on the podcast. Don't go counting your chickens just yet.
Yeah, I was ninth in the world
you know-
about 4
yeah.
weeks ago.
Just for the viewers, listeners, the last year's winner will be coming on shortly. So they have got all season to come on, and we are in the process of arranging it. So we haven't forgot that last year's Predictions League winner, Fredders, will be coming on. We're just aligning schedules.
Fair enough. There was one that was
Kate is coming on.
Meg Lou. In relation to your comment about talking to some guy in the BQ last week at the derby,
About Andy.
Similar.
I'm Tom's partner.
That's me.
Oh, is it you?
Tom was the guy I spoke to.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to say
fair
Josh
enough.
spoke to Andy.
No, I got confused.
That's why I replied.
Who would I speak to?
That's why I replied.
He came back with the drinks, he was buzzing, he met you. Even more now you mentioned it on the pod. Keep up with the pod, lads. We love it. So thank
I'd
you
love
for that.
it. Do you know,
That's
like
a nice
when we
comment,
mention
that. Yeah.
someone on the pod, I'd love to be able to see like a reaction of their face.
Like a goggle box style thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's me, that's me.
I do that every week.
Yeah, you watch it back, I don't. So.
Nice to know we've been cleared up with the hobo brother or cousin.
I hold my hands up on that one. I feel like it's just, you know, sometimes something doesn't stick in your head. And you've been told a dozen times, like, I
knew
reckon...
it was his brother.
I know, and I
said it
reckon...
was his brother.
And I've been told, and even stood with him, the pair of them, and I've been like, oh, you're brothers. And for some reason I was adamant. I was like, no, they're cousins, I'm sure. And I hold my hands up on that one.
So it's definitely his cousin.
So I think, I don't... Uncle or something, I don't know.
Right, there's this one. I'm not going to try and pronounce what your handle is because not a clue.
Because it's Dean and he can't read.
Yeah, yes.
Well, he who 1 3 5 5.
Yeah, exactly. What about the Hull fans singing Mikey Lewis Kid Isn't His? So, yes, we addressed the chanting last week. In my point of view, whatever he's chanted, he has to find the mental strength to rise above it. Granted, as a father, I would hate that chanting at me. But you've got to look at, like, how people like David Beckham dealt with it back in the day when he was getting death threats, and Cristiano Ronaldo when he got Rooney the red card against England, for England.
What a
Yes,
winker.
it's crap. These chants are horrible. I don't join in with them, that type of chant. I don't like it, but he has to rise above it. It's horrible, yes.
I
but
think
he's got
he
to
was
find a way.
referring
I
to the
get your
fact
point.
that I'd commended Tyrone May for the way that he responded. I think he's trying to say that maybe Mikey responded in a good way, but I didn't see that.
I've read it different, but yeah, if it was that
Either way,
yeah,
I'm an FC fan. It's Mikey Lewis, so fuck him.
that's it for comment section.
But we are neutral.
Keep the comments coming. It was a good week for comments. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
yeah.
it.
I,
Quite a
I
lot.
love the
We
comment.
need some more questions, some proper left field questions for this section.
Where's the food questions
Yeah,
from
come on,
Gary?
Gary. I nearly broke my
He
Las
te- I
Vegas
mean, he
pen then.
texts me enough nowadays.
He's
but
gone quiet since he got called out.
Who called
Gary,
him?
don't listen to him. Get your questions
I
in.
actually think it's because he's too busy doing giveaways on Red Army all the time.
Fair.
I think it is that Gary, isn't it? Have you seen it?
Uh,
Same
I
Gary,
don't-
isn't it?
I don't use Facebook, so no.
So many giveaways, just every week. Tickets, shares, do you want this?
I've
I'll
got
pay for
it,
this.
but-
Just phenomenal. Just what a bloke.
Just tag
He is a
Facebook.
decent guy.
Absolute phenomenal fella.
But like, it doesn't just have to be Gary. Just any left field questions.
And it do, yeah, and it
What's your favourite
really
movie?
doesn't have to be about.
If we're having a list of demands and some wishes, I want my mate from last year to come back. We haven't heard from him all year.
Which one?
Who do you think? Whose name could we never quite pronounce?
Cadle.
Cadell.
Where is he? Get in
Yeah, he's
touch.
far off the
I miss
radar,
you.
isn't he?
I miss you, fella.
He's
Get
a
in touch.
Patreon member
I
as well.
I haven't even seen
Cadle's
him.
the reason we started Patreon. And to be fair, we don't mention Patreon enough. If you want to support the pod,
What episode is
Always
it?
come
right on
down
the
to
schedule.
money.
Is it episode 10 or 11?
we have a Patreon account for people that want to like help us because obviously like we don't get anything for this, do we? Like we don't We don't get paid a salary or anything like that. It's all like self-funded, and we have the
You're
sponsors.
still negotiating yours, don't worry.
You are not getting paid. But if you want to help us out, the more people that follow us on Patreon, the better the product we can end up putting out, and the more giveaways we can do. Like, we're doing the Challenge Cup tickets for whoever wins the Predictions League and stuff. Grand final tickets. Yeah, for whoever wins the Predictions League. We give away 2 shirts in the pre-season, and the more people that follow us, the better chance we've got.
The money we do every
do.
month for the to help out with calls.
Yeah. So, in the words of Bob Geldof. Geldof. I'm not going to say it anyway. It's a bit rude, isn't it? What's next?
Feed the world.
We've got to preview our game on Thursday, haven't we? I want to wear your surgery was Thursday and you're not going.
Yeah, I'm going to be laid up in Darlington.
Saints by 65, move on.
Saints by 65.
I'm going to have to watch it on my iPad.
You aren't going to be in any fit state to watch any form
Why?
of TV. You're going to be dosed up to your high hell on
all the
it's
going to be
opiates
great.
that are available.
It's going to be amazing. Like, Saints are going to smash us and I'm going to be like, whoa! High on morphine, not caring about anything.
Boxers swinging around your head.
Yeah. No, Rachel will be there, so she'll
Rachel's thong swinging around your head. Sorry, Rachel.
The only positive I can see coming out of this game is
Sometimes I don't think.
my youngest daughter school's been picked to go be the flag carriers, the badge.
Flag bearers.
That's the one for before the game. So she's very much looking forward to that. So I'm glad someone's looking forward to it, to be honest, because I really am looking forward to this on Thursday. But I've had a few friends messaging me, and I know you're along the same lines as this. They're back in Hull, and I just
predictions away.
I just can't get that into my head.
It's a proper 50-50, isn't it, in your head? Because all signs point to that there's so many distractions that, and coupled with some mismatched performances from you guys, some good ones, some poor ones throughout the season. You don't really know where you're at. You've got a lot of injuries. You'd expect Saint to, they're on a bit of a high in a way. The Wigan win really helped them. Catalan didn't really offer much, but they won that. All signs point to Saints. Yet, could you be having that? We're doing this for Carty. That grit, that determination, that effort, where they all want to put the effort in for him, and all of a sudden you're doing a win's a win. And that doesn't mean that you come and beat them 40 points to 4. That could be a 21-20 win.
It don't matter how it comes.
2 points is 2 points at the end of the day on the league ladder, innit? So.
And strange things have happened in sport. I just can't see it myself. I expect the players will respond for him. I just don't think it'll be good enough to get us over the line. My
big fear is, and this is not a slight on any individual FC player, because I mean about any sports player, these situations happen a lot in sport, and people get sometimes a little bit dreamy, hoping that they can have that game where they go, actually, let's do it for him, it happens, and then one thing goes wrong, and everyone's heads drop. You've seen it all the time, where you see it in the Challenge Cup, when a low-side team turns up to play a Super League or a Championship team and they get the first try, and you think, go on, you could do this. I mean, all of a sudden they concede one back, then they lose the second ball, and all of a sudden they go 12-6, then it's 18-6, and all the players a bit, and it almost has that feeling as well, where that one knock-on or that couple of tries that go in, I think it could be a 50-50 because of that, but I think if you're going by letter of the law in terms of what's happening in the world, your money's probably best put on Saints, I would think.
Yeah, it's the safe bet. I think, we've had confirmation of length of injury, not confirmation, but Romano 8 to 12 weeks, as James said earlier, Asiata minimum 12. I think Aiden could be back
relatively close.
Yeah, they're gonna see how he pulls up on team run, which will be on Wednesday. But apart from that, I don't think anyone else is out or anyone else is due back. So, yeah.
Gnarly position you're in at the minute,
definitely.
Innit?
The main prediction is Cartwright going to be there on Thursday?
He'll be there Thursday.
You think?
What colour Gatorade is he going to get splashed with?
There's going to be people out there that have never watched American
NFL
football
or baseball.
They're going to be what's he on about?
If you don't know what I mean,
just watch some American sport.
Yeah, YouTube it. Just say coaches doused in Gatorade. Job done.
Oh dear. I'll be honest. I don't normally like missing games, but I think if I was going to miss any, this is, yeah, just because of what's been going on this
I
week.
don't know what the reaction will be in the crowd as well. I think he'll get back. So there'll be chance for Cartwright, but if we lose a couple of tries early doors, and we're behind the 8 ball pretty early on.
I suppose if you wanted to be on the right side of history, though, you could chant Cartwright out, and then it's going to happen, isn't it? So,
Which one?
both.
Can't
But
write.
it just sounds Cartwright times 2 out. Just sounds rubbish, doesn't it?
Just put an S on the end of it. Can't write.
Oh, Cartwright out.
Yeah.
Such a dick.
I expected nothing more from him tonight.
Nothing less.
I was expecting the whole section to start and him to go, yes.
Obviously,
He did. You just didn't see it. It was under the table.
I always have to say the same thing when I do my caveats, that I want both
There we
teams
go.
to be
Hey,
at, the
love
top,
good caveat.
at the top competing, but you can't deny that it's great for us to see it, you going through a bit of time out and treating another coach like shit, because it's just ammo, isn't it, from the banter though.
Yeah.
And especially when you can't deny it, because quite frankly, we haven't heard both sides of a story. And if it turns out John Cartwright's done something horrendous and he deserves to be treated like this, we'll take our words back. You boys will as well, because you've also said you don't like the sound of it. But 99.9% sure that he's been treated poorly here. It's not the first time I'll have done it to a coach. And it's amusing as a red and white on the opposite side of the city that you can't seem to get it right.
No, we can't.
Oh well, moving
we
on.
move on? Yeah.
Yeah, so moving on to this month's cause. So this month's cause comes from one of our listeners, Dave, and his son Lukas. Lukas was born in 2020 and quickly became seriously unwell. He was diagnosed with a rare heart condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome and has since undergone multiple major surgeries, spending over 100 days in hospital. Despite everything, he's now 5 years old, unfortunately a big old KR fan and an absolute fighter, with more treatment still ahead. So this month we're supporting the Children's Heart Surgery Fund, a charity that helps provide vital care and support for children like Lukas and their families. We'll put the link in the description. There's a QR code you can scan at the bottom. And if any of our listeners has a connection to a certain Mikey Lewis, Lukas is a huge Mikey Lewis fan. And it would be amazing if we could get Mikey to go and just meet Lukas, say hello, whether that's at a game, at his house. That's a little request that I've had to ask. So if anyone has any connection with Mikey and they can share this story with him, it'd be really great if we could make that happen for Lukas.
Let's try and make it happen.
Yeah, that'd be spot on.
Even if it's just case getting him down to captain's run and him meeting Mikey at the captain's run or something like that, do you know?
Minutes, seconds, whatever, that kid will remember that.
For the rest of his life.
Forever,
yeah, absolutely. So let's make it happen, people. That's
Right.
my one thing for today.
KR versus 2 preview.
2. We're playing 2 teams.
TO, 2.
Oh, Toulouse Olympique.
Yes, yeah.
Now, yeah.
Go on then.
Bit gutted I'm not going. Still reeling from, my bank account's still reeling from Vegas, so can't quite afford it. Sorry, Josh, just pulled your microphone again. But yeah, I had all intentions of taking the lad, but just want to be. But onto the game, you alluded to it earlier there, Josh, that Hadley will probably be out, I would assume.
Seems that way.
Yeah, aggravation of his eye injury, obviously. Since from what we could gather, it's an underlying, like under the, an internal, would you call it? Eye socket fracture, Dean's eye.
Hadley.
Yeah, because it's not. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Because it's not on the surface, is it?
If that guy
like
can travel 10 hours on a plane with the eye socket
After
that he
a
did
week.
5 days. No, not even 5 days
not even
earlier.
that long, yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't play in Vegas. None of the Rovers players played in Vegas.
Well, yeah, that's
You have me questioning.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I did as well. Did you see me look at him like that? But anyways, Minchella's come back in anyway as well. Apart from Morg, I think we've pretty much got a clean bill of health going into it. It's an embarrassment of riches, really. Like that with.
I hate them bragging about stuff like this.
Do you know what? It's nice for us.
I bet it is.
Because
I
we've
bet it's
been
bloody
what you're
lovely, isn't it?
I said to my earlier, I said, we've been through what you're going through. We've had periods where we've had players and the lowest number on the team sheets like 8. We've had times like that, you know.
But have you ever had a player wear the number 50 before?
Not quite.
Yeah.
We're not Salford or Hull. So, but no, it is nice to have that and to have that embarrassment of riches, as I've just said, and to be able to choose from pretty much a full squad. I think we'll see pretty much more of the same this week as to what we saw last week in terms of the squad, with just maybe Minchella coming in for Hadley. I don't think there'll be many more changes.
No, there won't be many. I just think for me, it's always tough to travel, and I will back Rovers in the Predictions League, spoiler alert, but I don't think we'll run away with it. Happy to be wrong. Always tough to travel. I don't want to take them lightly. I don't think we will. I'd like us to continue what I'm feeling is a bit of a return to form for us as a club. We're starting to pick up pace now. We're starting to get some good wins, starting to get big wins. We've got that attacking flair going, and we'll keep picking these points up and keep narrowing that gap so that we're firmly in the 6. And yeah, we can talk later down the line if we want to start looking at, God, could Rovers have a chance at being league leaders again? That's not about that now. For now, it's cementing ourselves top 4 if we can, because we had a couple of losses at the beginning and keep going. So, and it'd be quite nice as well, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful term, but to see us have to get out of second gear. We didn't really have to do it against Hull. We didn't really have to do it against York.
Or Saints.
Or Saints that much. And maybe that's just us being a little bit cocky and saying, well, actually, maybe we did get out of second gear and that's the way we are as a club. But we have seen more from this group of players, and it is largely unchanged from last year. So, and if anything, the players that have changed are better or younger or fitter in their position. Tom Amone compared to Jared, who was more of a talisman player, etc. So, yeah, I'd like to see us go over there and make a bit of a statement if possible, but I'll take the 2 points either way. So, don't take it lightly and see how it goes.
It's going to be really tough, innit? Like, we've been to Toulouse before. We've lost in Toulouse before.
Yeah, I was there.
I was there too. I don't remember it, but I was there.
Are you ever not drunk at the rugby?
Yeah, sometimes I take Mason. I'm just a little bit tipsy. For reference, there are other people around that can and do put their hand up to say, if you want to have a drink, I'll keep an eye on him.
They mean Craig,
the people that watch this, mate, the people that watch this are all rugby fans. No one cares if you're drunk around your kid.
Yeah, that's true. He drinks with me.
Come on.
No, he didn't really. No, it's going to be really, really tough, Toulouse have proven that they're in games for 60, 70 minutes before they do fall off. If they do fall off, there's been games where they haven't. So it is for us to, again, like you said, Josh, get out of that second gear and take the game to them. But it is nice to see, from a Rovers perspective, some of the traits from last season creeping back in to our performances. So hopefully we'll continue to see more of the same on Friday.
Hopefully so.
Done. Short preview of that.
Well, I don't think there's too much to say, is there?
Not a lot to say. It was only 5 minutes.
Glad to have rugby back on a Thursday night. Missed it this week.
Yeah, it's an odd one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And maybe back to some normal. I didn't mind our game on Saturday, but it was such middle of a day, is a real random time on a Saturday.
I like it. I like the...
And it was a gash game as well.
1:30. It interrupted my morning drinking. I had to get into afternoon drinking mode, do you know what I mean, for a weekend? No. All jokes aside, it's nice to have the regular times back.
You have to get into afternoon drinking. It started on Friday.
Last Friday. Let's do some predictions, Craigie.
It's time to shine.
There we go. Right then. So no roundup obviously from last week, 'cause it was Challenge Cup. I can't even remember what we guys predicted. I didn't write it down, I don't think. So
I think we all said Rovers would win.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I went Rovers by 30, Saints by some or other, but I definitely backed Wakey over Wigan.
I
Yeah,
backed
I backed
Wakey over
Wakey.
Wigan. I think I had by 4, maybe 10. Not
I most likely backed Wigan because I'm
I
sensible.
think he was the only one.
But so last week I called out a certain Mr. Brogo, who got the golden cap last week, who disclosed to me on Saturday's game in Craven Street that it wasn't actually him that made them predictions, it was his partner Katie.
Oh.
So calling you out there, Brogo.
Feels like an
do you know
excuse to me,
what?
pal.
Do you know, if he wins the league, that
Katie's
means
coming on,
yeah,
not
he
him.
can't come on.
I've known Katie years as well, so she does know stuff. So right
Clearly.
then, let's crack on with this week. Starting at the Circle on Thursday night, FC versus St Helens. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, Dean. I have gone for Hull, and I do think it will be a reaction to Cartwright. Whether it's because it's possibly his last game in charge, and in terms of, we've spoke about it earlier, you're going to see out the season. I've gone for Hull by 4. Josh is just doing his now.
Saints by 14.
Saints by 16.
Saints by 16.
Susan's got Saints by 12, so this could either be an absolute world
genius call by you, or
it could be
start of
shooting
last
myself
season.
in the foot, yeah. Right, over to Stade Ernest Vallon, or Wallon, whichever the way they want to pronounce it. Toulouse versus Hull KR, we've just spoke about it. I do think Rovers will win, and I do think we'll have too much run, but again, it'll be towards the end where we sort of pull away a little bit. I've got Rovers by 14.
Rovers by 16.
Rovers by 10.
Rovers by 30.
30?
3-0.
Susan's got Rovers by 10.
Have they started you on the meds for your operation now?
I've started my ADHD meds now. I'm thinking clearer.
Don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Certainly not. If it was at home, I could probably understand you going by 30, but in the south of France, no, I don't think so.
I will say with Toulouse across this season, especially for our predictions, I don't get a lot of insight to what's going on with their squad, injuries, rotation, how they're doing. I just see them when I watch the games, and these players I like Ollie Ashot-Bolton, players like that. So I'm never quite sure where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, I think I got their game against Catalan wrong the other week because I fancied them to do one over Catalan. But then when the game started, Catalan had got players back, but Toulouse was missing. And Toulouse haven't quite stepped into the forefront in a way that Catalan have for the news in the UK yet, I don't think.
I've factored in the fact that they've had some really disturbing news this week. You know, the breaking news that they might maybe possibly lose Tyler Debris. They're just not going to deal with it very well.
It's like a bad breakup.
Yeah.
Anyways, over to the ACU Stadium, Huddersfield versus Leeds. I've got Leeds by 18.
Leeds by 20.
Leeds by 8.
Oh, okay. Can I redo mine? I've got Huddersfield by 2.
No, you're having Huddersfield by 2 now. Susan's got Leeds by 8.
These meds are messing with my head.
I'm working really well for you there, Jimmy.
These are one of the ones, though, that you'll be right.
Yeah.
Huddersfield will pull the upset off.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like, Jimmy's the only one that got points, because that's just how this works.
Can't wait.
That's what he was doing earlier on in the season.
Do you know what the best bit is? I'm not here next week in case all this goes tits up. So
It's alright, we'll get you on video link. It's fine. LNER York versus Lee. Lee by 10.
Got Lee by 8.
Lee by 12.
Lee by 10.
Susan's got Lee by 6. DIY Kitchens, Wakefield versus Bradford. Wakefield by 8.
Wakey by 12.
Wakey by 4.
Wakey by 18.
18. Someone's took a bang to the head. Susan's got Wakefield by, I can't even read my own writing, 6 I think. Might be 8, possibly 6. Who knows?
She'll check.
Yeah, she will, yeah. Stade Gilbert Brutus, then Catalans versus Warrington. Warrington by 8.
Why about 10?
Why by 10?
Wire by 13. That's 1-3.
I thought you were going to say 30 then. Susan's got Wire by 12. Last game of the weekend, Brick Community Stadium, Wigan versus Cass. Wigan by 22.
Wigan by 16.
Wigan by 14.
Wigan by 24.
Susan has Wigan by 16. That rounds up predictions for this week.
Is that Catalan game that we're on about? Catalan by 6 you had? Wakey by 6.
Was the...
Yeah, Wakey by 6, yeah.
It felt very similar today.
We was all the same. All us thought it was...
Apart from the old game,
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
you picked all.
where I went.
And you've
Me and you was the
people
same.
around here saying I've took a bang to the head.
I've took many. I've been with Laura 10 years.
Ooh, I'm not saying anything because Rachel is right there.
She will
Hello.
kill you.
Love you.
Right,
You're my favourite.
let's wrap up. And before we go, it would be remiss of me not to use the term remiss, because my favourite comment
I used
on
it earlier
YouTube,
for
I
you,
know
just
you
in
did.
case.
You're
but
closing again.
I didn't know if it applies to anybody saying it or just me, because I liked the comment on YouTube where it was like,
Yeah.
you made me sweat this week, Josh. It was nearly 30 minutes till you said it. So I will just close out with the usual message, but an important one, that we do like to say thank you to Tribal for being the home of the pod, for supplying us with food and drink as we can say that now since we've had some food. And also to our main sponsor, Comscap. But 1 minute, Jimmy's writing something. I'd rather just interrupt myself and ask him what he's doing. Okay. He wants to change his thing from Huddersfield, but we're not letting him. No, as always, whether you watch or listen to the podcast, please make sure that you like it, but particularly on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hype it using the hype button, share an episode with a mate, and then if those of you that do use Patreon, thank you so much for doing so. Anybody that's interested, the link's there as well. Get involved on Patreon as well. We really, really appreciate it. As we've said before, the more that you keep watching, listening, supporting us, the more that we'll be releasing videos and talking general rugby league nonsense, but nonsense between friends.
And shit.
And a lot of bullshit. So I will be the first one to say for tonight, see you bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
See you, bye.
Yeah.